One of the other things that becomes really important, and it may be something to think about as you consider what any of you might do, is how to make a global machine run well. You know, there's many bigger companies than ours that have more of this example of problem, but we have about 600 people in Bangalore in India. We have a couple hundred people in Beijing in China that are in our development organization. We have about 400 or 500 on the East Coast, and we've got another 600 or so here in Silicon Valley. So how do you actually operate that machine when you've got to develop these things all over the world? And I think we're actually getting past this, but there was certainly a time when this was quite a threatening thing for all of us, imagining in the U.S. that all the jobs were being exported, and this was going to be a terrible thing, and it was no use being an engineer in the United States anymore, and all that. And I just would really encourage you to ignore that stuff, because what actually is really important today is figuring out how to be either a contributor individually or how to be a manager or a leader in making a global machine run. That really makes people who have that skill valuable. Because as we get bigger, as much of the differentiation that will define our path to $5 or $10 billion is going to come not just from our products, that'll be necessary, but it won't be sufficient. It will be also required that we operate this machine and figure out how to take resources scattered around the world, not just in development, but certainly in that example, and how to operate that machine more productively and more powerfully than somebody with whom we compete. Because there's huge arbitrage opportunities from a cost point of view, which will go away. But what will remain is that if you're looking for the top 10% of talent to build your company, and talent is critical to any company's success, if the size of company A's pool is X, some portion of the world, pick any country, and the size of company B's talent pool is 10X, then the top 10% is going to be better. And it's going to be easier to find and easier to recruit. So the actual competitive requirement for this global marketplace and labor pool is the only way any company of size is going to be able to recruit the necessary talent relative to what others who compete with them will do. So being global in the way that you approach the job market and in looking at these situations and figuring out how do I capitalize on that, doing that well and understanding how to operate around the world, how to manage teams in multiple locations, how to understand cultures in different countries and synthesize that effort, those people are as or more valuable to us. And if you put